Welcome back to Human First, Doctor Second. I'm Dr. Mary Wilke. I'm a physician advocate. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a board certified internal medicine doc. And I'm your friend. That's right. I'm your friend. Welcome back to my channel, Human First, Doctor Second. Um, so just wanted to share that I just completed my very first official speaking opportunity with a publicly traded tech company where I was able to engage and speak to a group of caregivers. So ERG is a very new word to me, employee resource group, for those in the medical field, but is very common, I guess, in other fields and in the tech world and marketing and so on and so forth. It's an employee resource group, right? So what that means is within those big companies, they have smaller sectors, almost like when we're back in college and we had the little associations like National Honor Society. You remember that? I was in like African Student Association. So within big companies like Google and them, they got little smaller groups so that there can be community. I love that idea. I was fortunate to speak to a group of a special group, and I love this group. The fact that someone thought this group should be created is called the Caregivers group, right? So if you're a caregiver, that means you're either a parent caring for a child, you're a child caring for aging parents, you are caring for pets, you have maybe someone who has some sort of disability that you're caring for within your family. It could just be even a friend, right? Or family members, external family members that you either are caring for financially, emotionally. It could be a spouse that you're caring for. I mean, caregiving it's a whole spectrum, right? And when this came to my table, and I initially thought, well, this doesn't quite align with what I'm trying to do with Tommy and Company, my human experience consultancy, where I decided to niche down to focus on physician and physician-owned businesses, teaching them how to nurture their relationships with their customers, with their patients, with their partners, vendors, using my HUMAN, my human framework. And the goal is that doing this and infusing these things in my framework, you have growth. Not just growth, you're able to sustain that bottom line and strengthen that bottom line. Not because of anything else, but because you understand the human framework and the power in being human. Then this opportunity came to speak to a group of caregivers who are actually tech people. It was yet another reminder of our humanity, right? And although this may not necessarily align with my business brand, it definitely aligns with my personal brand. Honestly, got very emotional after the speaking engagement. It impacted me more than I ever thought it would. I never knew that it would help me find joy again and give me that extra strength to go on again. That's the power of finding joy. And so here I am sharing it with you all because you guys are just amazing and you decided to follow me and subscribe to my channel. And so if you haven't, please follow, ring that bell, subscribe below. Make sure you get all the notifications. I need you to comment. I need you to engage. I need you to love. Now I'm ready. Let's get right into our topic for today. Finding joy and building strength as caregivers. Again, I'm your girl, Dr. Mary Wilke. I'm a physician advocate. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm an internist, board certified internist, and a caregiver, just like a lot of you here. And I'm just going to get right into it and tell you a story, a wonderful story about my son, my baby Jaxon. Jaxon is now 12 years old and he will be turning 13 um, on September the 10th. It's been a journey. Jaxon is, he just, listen, y'all are his Facebook and IG aunties and uncles. I mean, his journey has been uh, uh, nothing private. We've always, I mean, we are probably guilty of exposing him a lot when he was, especially when he was a baby. We were just happy. He was everyone's nephew, right? He was everyone's nephew. Y'all got him right. Y'all encouraged him. He, he's just amazing. Jaxon has this super swag about him. And, we never knew that, we would ever be called into a meeting when he was about 2 years and I believe 8 months or maybe 7 months. We had him in a Mother's Morning Out program. And, the executive director called us and said, I think you guys need to come in. Again, he was 2 years old. They wanted to talk to us, and it was in that meeting that they began to say, certain things that would make us, kind of, well, I'm not going to lie. I felt like they were labeling my kid, and I thought, this can be true. What do you mean he is different? What do you mean he's XYZ? And that was the beginning of our journey. Again, he is 2 years old. And so we took him and enrolled him in a Montessori school, and an amazing school. But I became totally emotional about this whole thing. For someone to ever tell me that maybe it's a possibility that for the rest of his life, he would have to help him navigate this world a little different because he is neurodivergent. I never knew what the hell that meant. It was from that moment that we then sought counseling, and lo and behold, they put Jaxon on what they call the autism spectrum. As a physician, it is natural to refute that. It's natural to be, in denial and say, nah, first of all, he's only 2 and some change. But I also, and I'm grateful for the wisdom and the love and the empathy of certain people. And Mrs. Jefferson, shout out to her. I will never forget you. I will never forget her, because it was her empathy and her seeing me as a mother herself. I would never forget her words when I called and I told her we've gone to multiple schools and something ain't right with all the schools. And I had not visited this particular school. My husband did. And the report that came back to me was not good. And I wanted to speak to his teacher. And, in my investigation, she ended up getting on the phone with me and asked me what my husband had said. And it was that conversation where she then came out of wherever she was. I could tell because the noise, it just felt like it was just me and her. She was listening. She was listening. And she had said, Dr. Wilke, I'm a mom. I'm a mother as well. I also understand where you're coming from. I also understand how you're feeling right now. I want you to know that I will not steer you wrong. I want you to come in yourself. I get it that your husband came. And I get and respect his point of view. But this is an emotional journey, not just as a couple, but an individual journey. Come in. Come and see the school. I will be his teacher. I want to meet you. I have children who are neurodivergent as well. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm in this field. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm getting my master's in this field, and so on. That was it. It was the empathy, y'all. It was her being human in that moment. with all my accolades, with all my NDs and my board certification. And in that moment, I didn't care about specialists. I just wanted someone to see me. And so the journey began as a caregiver. It has been a hell of a journey, but we are so grateful. I am so grateful for Jaxon's life. He has brought the most joy to my soul, other than the Lord himself, because he is my joy. But I have found joy in this gift of motherhood. I used to say, why me? Why me? Why me? Right? Why us? Why Jaxon? And one day that mindset shifted. Why not me? Why not? If I start changing my mindset to realize that I've been entrusted with this gift, I've been entrusted with the gift of motherhood, period, right? There are many people, perspective, many people who cannot enjoy this gift of motherhood, but you have. Here you are, a mother. Not just a mother, you're a mother to a handsome little baby, right? You have been blessed beyond measure. Why not you? Somebody up there above, God believed that you are capable. You are capable of caring for this kid, for this gift that he has given to you. You are capable of providing for him and getting everything he ever needs to be successful in this life. You are capable, and so he entrusted you. Why not you? Perspective. And then I began to embrace gratitude. And I have always said, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard, that gratitude is truly the greatest antidepressant. It is truly greater than Prozac. It is greater than Zoloft. It is the greatest antidepressant. When you start being grateful for what you have, giving less energy for what you don't have, wanting what everybody else has, that needs to stop. Be grateful. And so I began that practice. Again, it does not remove the pain. It does not remove your reality, but it revealed the joy. Gratitude reveals joy. It reminds you of what you have. Count your blessings, name them one by one. It changes the game, y'all. Gratitude. So things got tough, because that's life, right? I'm not here to preach to y'all and not be real, because I'm finna get real, okay? Because when middle school started this past fall, and all hell broke loose, okay? Jaxon has an individualized education plan, which I bless God for his amazing teachers at his elementary school. We then got to middle school, and it was like the school took his IEP, looked at it, and just threw it away. Did not. That is my perspective. It is what it is. I'm not revealing any information about anybody on here, but it was bad. My son will be in school, and he's been documented as absent. I can count numerous times this has happened. We will not get his program, his plan implemented, the successful plan we've had implemented into middle school, right? Literally 7 teachers. He went from 2 teachers to 7 teachers who all had different opinions, different way of sending homework, different way of doing classwork. Homework took about 2 hours to even figure out before we even begin. He gets home at 5:30, 5:45 for us to begin 7 different. It was a lot. I was micromanaging, and if anybody knows me, micromanaging ain't it. It is not good for my mental health. I don't like to micromanage. I don't. It brings the worst out of me. Yep, it sure does. So here I go micromanaging, and I lost myself. I lost myself as a caregiver. I was trying to do the work and to find joy. I was trying to do the work to be grateful and a perspective, and boom, here we go. I was done. And I'm super grateful for a trip to Tulum that honestly, if you told me I was going to Tulum earlier on in the year, like, oh God, like, okay, sure, if you can fit into my schedule. But somehow my schedule was wide open for this trip, much needed trip with amazing people. And it was on this trip where I got to sleep, rest, and I'm so grateful for my hubby. He was working, and he was so intentional to just be there. Not because he wasn't working and he was going to be able to take off. No, but for my health. He knew that would help me. I mean, y'all, I was growing pimples and losing my mind, working full time, trying to run a business and micromanaging teachers and a whole school. And by the way, unresponsiveness, the apathy was absolutely unforgettable, apathetic. But we're not. That's not what we're doing today. Okay, let me focus. This is my story. So I was able to sleep and reflect and rest. And it was now that I realized, oh my God, I was sick. This is not healthy. This road I'm on, nah, something has to give. I'm so grateful for my Coombs, Jackson's godmother, who was there with me. And we just had it was a healthy trip for both. I believe it was good for her as well. Definitely for me. And Kumi was right there on my bed, calling advocates, calling people to help me, looking through all the things I've been through. And it was just healthy. It was self-care. It was self-care, y'all. And I'm so grateful to have people like that in my life to remind me that this body is terminal. And if you don't catch it, it can lead to a very, very deadly road. And it was after that trip, we decided to hire a lawyer because I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this without help. Getting help is self-care. Getting a lawyer was self-care. The reminder of the 3 core pillars of finding joy as caregivers. Perspective, 1. Gratitude, 2. And self-care, 3. Self-care is critical for survival. Self-care is not selfish. It is important.
Thanks for tuning in. And if you found this episode impactful, don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment below, and share it with a fellow doctor, or anyone really. I'd love to hear what resonated with you. Until next time, stay grounded, stay human, always human first, doctor second. See you soon. Bye-bye.